ancient Bali was Bali before it was under the authority of the Majapahit kingdom. Early civilizations found on stupas and inscribed stones at the Pajang site were made in 700 Saka in Sanskrit, proving that ancient Bali knew Buddhism earlier than Hinduism. Because the arrival of the monks and the arrival of the Hindu preachers could be said to be almost the same, there was a mixture of the two religions. Inscriptions dated to 804 Saka already mention the names of calendar months with a solar system like in India. Then the Pada stone inscription found in Blanjong Sanar was inscribed with the Saka year according to the Chandra Sankala system of Hindu civilization. As explained above, the mixing of Mahayana Buddhist culture with the Shiva Siddhanta sect of Hinduism and the Vaishnava sect had occurred in ancient Bali at least since 882, long before the same incident in East Java. The Shiva Buddhist mixture in East Java was only officially recognized in 1365 by Empu Prapancha in the Kakawin he wrote entitled, Desawarnana, and then Empu Tanchula wrote the same thing in the Kakawin Arjuna Wiwaha and Sudasoma. The majority of the population of ancient Bali lives from the agricultural sector, namely agriculture, animal husbandry, fishing and collecting forest products. A small portion of the population lives from the trading sector as collectors of agricultural products, especially rice, to sell to Chinese merchants. Instead, they buy grocery items and craft items from Chinese traders such as cloth, porcelain, glassware and other household necessities. Trade on the north coast of Bali Island is busier than the south coast. Shipping routes in the archipelago start from the Malacca Peninsula along the east coast of Sumatra, the north coast of Java, the north coast of Bali, turning south in the Lombok Strait, then to Sumbawa, South Sulawesi and Maluku. The seaports on the north coast of Bali are Teluk Terima, Pemutaran, Buleng, Sangsit, Kobutambahan, and Jula. Meanwhile, the only port on the south coast of Bali is Sanar. The trade route on the mainland of the island of Bali starts from the port and goes to the mountains. In the beginning, trade was carried out by barter or exchanging goods, because the kings did not create currency for their country. The arrival of Chinese merchants who brought Chinese currency and taught the people of ancient Bali the system of buying and selling using currency attracted the attention of King Udayana. This system was considered good because it was practical, facilitated trade, and made it easier for the king to collect taxes. Even though the population was familiar with and used Chinese currency before Sri Ugrasina's reign, it was King Udayana who officially established the use of Chinese currency as currency or a legal medium of exchange. Ancient Balinese people called the currency piece bolong. Piece bolong, which began circulating in ancient Bali in the 7th century, was made in China during the Tang dynasty. The role of piece bolong as a medium of exchange in ancient Bali became stronger for several reasons, including the marriage of the king who ruled from 1133 to 1173, namely Sri Jaya Pangus, to a Chinese princess who was a relative of Emperor Kublai Khan. Important ports in North Bali such as Buleng and Sangsit are controlled by prominent traders, who also serve as Chinese military officials. At Buleng the official had the rank of Capitan but his name was not clear, and a person with the rank of Major named Ko Bun Singh was the ruler at Sangsit. These officials and merchants were very rich and influential. They controlled large areas of agricultural land from the practice of lending money to farmers at high interest rates. The residents of ancient Bali, who previously did not know opium, then became addicted, so that their lives were miserable. As a result, rice fields or gardens were mortgaged, jobs were lost, and some children were sold to become slaves to Chinese merchants. The gambling habits of the Chinese people were imitated by the ancient Balinese. With the existence of piece bolong as a legal currency, gambling became increasingly widespread, causing many native people to fall into poverty due to losing gambling. Residents are starting to recognize speculative thought patterns, want to make quick profits, and those who intend to commit crimes of theft and robbery are increasingly getting opportunities. Robbery became easier to carry out because native people who previously hoarded their harvests as savings then saved them in the form of currency, making it easier for thieves and robbers to drain their possessions. The marriage of King Sri Jaya Pangus to a Chinese woman was revered by his people. People pay their respects by placing Batari China at Ulan Danu Batar Temple, Batara Ratu Subandar in Bisaki Temple, and other symbols such as the Barong Landang Lanang Watan, which is a replica of Sri Jaya Pangus and his queen. Chinese folk tales also spread in Bali, for example the story of Sampakingtai. The science of silat from China also developed in ancient Bali in the form of penchak, and in the form of mass dances, such as Baris Dap, Baris Demang, Baris Prisi, Baris Tumbak, Baris Tamiang, and others. Apart from being used as currency, peace bolong is also used in religious ceremonies. Some types of offerings must use peace bolong. In the military field, ancient Balinese soldiers began to recognize weapons such as arrows, spears, swords and shields which were of higher quality because they were made from fine and sharp steel. The steel smelting industry does not yet exist in Bali. Therefore, most of these types of weapons are imported from China. The expensive clothes used by kings and nobles made of silk were purchased from Chinese merchants. A type of paper made in China called ulan taga paper, in ancient Bali was also sacred, only used as an important tool in death ceremonies. Mixed marriages between Chinese people and native people often occur. Chinese people who have integrated into the Balinese population usually use Chinese-Balinese combination names, for example, Baba Katut, Baba Nyoman, and others. Among the nobles and rich merchants, there were names that had a Chinese origin, for example, Kho Chin Bun who lived in Sinabun village, Kho Ping Gan who lived in Pinggan village with his twin children named Ma Sui Lie and Ma Sui Lie called Masula-Masuli by the Balinese, the Beng Kue Luan family who live in Bunkulan village, and the Ma Pa Chung family who live in Pakhung village. It seems that Masula-Masuli, another title of the ancient Balinese king Maheswara-Maheswari, is a duplication of the names of Kho Ping Gan's twin children Ma Sui Lie Ma Sui Lie. This is about the influence of Chinese culture on ancient Balinese civilization which can still be traced in modern Bali.